You know, when you come to Cardon Lodge, it's kind of nice because you're on the beach, and every morning they shuttle you to Salto Lake. And when we got here this morning, it was so neat because it was calm and we had a really thick mist that was over the lake. And I'm not sure if that's because it was warm or cool last night, and then you had all the condensation from the water. You can see how healthy the fish are here. Hono told me that some days you can get 100 bass in this size range, anywhere from about 3 to 5 pounds. And a lot of anglers get up to 2-3 big fish a day, 6 to 8 pounds. We were talking to one gentleman, Larry, who's here, and he's been fishing here since 1996. And he's averaging about 2 or 3 big fish a day. And he fishes a lot of topwater like I am today, and also plastics.
There you go.
And this fish has taken me down. I just hooked a trophy largemouth, and it's caught on wood or something. Oh, there he is. He's off. Good. Look at this. What a prize largemouth. Barbara, can you believe the size of this fish?
Wow.
You know, Lake Salto is about 24,000 acres. We're roughly 800 miles from Arizona, southern Arizona. So we're actually on the west side, the Pacific coast of Mexico. Look at this guy fight. You know, I'm using 30-pound braid, and I'm using a medium action bait casting outfit, and it's perfect to handle these big brutes. Look at how beautiful this fish is.
Just grabbed it.
Barbara, yeah, and you know what? He's hooked actually ideally for me to grab him by the lip. Isn't that a beautiful El Salto Mexico bass? This fish is 21 inches long, but you know, it's not so much the length. They're so heavy. I wish I had the weigh scale out. You know what? It's in one of the end pouches of the blue bag, Barb. Okay, Barb, well, you get the scale. I'm just going to get the hook out. It's got one hook in the front, drop it over the side. Isn't that a beautiful fish?
It's beautiful, nice and thick.
Now, Ono said that about a 21-inch bass should weigh about 6 pounds. So I'm going to put this little marker. The nice thing about the scale, this is a Rapala scale. I'm just letting the fish hang there. And I'm going to take the scale off, and let's see what it says. You know what? 5.5. No, I'm looking at bottom of the, top of the V. It's 5.5 pounds. So he was very close. Isn't that a beautiful fish?
Awesome.
You know what? I'm going to get him back in because they've got a great trophy largemouth bass fishery here, and catch and release is super important. Man, Barbara, they're so thick, eh? Yeah. They're very thick and wide. Okay, I'm going to put my hand underneath. Come on, come on. You big, beautiful bass, you. On a topwater, too. And there he goes. Oh, you know what? This is an amazing lake. They were telling me that they built the lake. How do you build a lake? Well, it was built in about 1986. It was started, and it took many years. So what they did, I think it's called the Italo River, was flooded. So they actually made a dam that was over 300 feet high, and we're actually fishing pretty close to it. And then the large reservoir was created, and they had to move some people because they had 3 villages in the area. But the interesting thing is the amount of fish that it produces. We've been going by a lot of the nets. Like you see these bottles that are here? These are nets that are for tilapia. And earlier we were watching the fishermen pull up the nets. And you could see these tilapia. They're anywhere from about, I'd say, a pound to almost 2 pounds in size. And they're very important because they reproduce every month. And there's probably millions of them in the lake. And I've been told by Ono that on some years they get about 1,200 tons. So you do the math. And it's just individual fishermen that have small boats, and they'll go and pull nets in the morning, and they'll have a box. So it's not like, you know, we're talking industrial harvesting. And we were watching them on shore, and they were cleaning the fish, and some boats had 40, some 50, some 20, some 100. And it's really neat because so many people can make a living from the fish.
Fisher girl! Catch the passion!
There's a lot of weeds here, but with the net, I don't think it's a problem. He should, there he goes, perfect. Okay, Shelly, let's show him the way that lure works.
Okay.
Nice cast just off the lily pads.
Thank you.
Now, I notice you're not reeling it in right away. So you're just letting it sit there?
Exactly. What I'm trying to do is imitate a frog. So I want the rings in the water to dissipate.
Good,
And then what I'm going to do is give it a twitch.
good.
So I'm imitating the frog kicking.
Nice twitch. I just saw the little blurp that it made.
Thank
Good.
you. So that's all there is to it. If you like to fish for bass, try a topwater lure. You'll be surprised at how many bass you can catch.